over Holy Grail. I also think this is an incredible Bloodseeker game. Yes, you destroy the Night Stalker and the Void Spirit. Like, Rupture is just incredible versus those heroes. You always have the Rupture Lasso play. I think just the one thing is that I think Morphling plays pretty well into the Bloodseeker. So that's really my big thing for me. Like, you don't really mind about getting ruptured. You do kind of have to be mobile, but they can get to a stage where you're strong enough with a couple of items where you can just stand strong. So, but overall, I think Bloodseeker has some very good matchups this game and everything else we mentioned. So I will favor Dire. How are you feeling though in this game?
I'm going to favor Dire as well, but again, it's really going to be dependent on that initiation. I think it's also pretty pertinent to note that it's going to be dependent on like who actually is the one that gets initiated on too. You know, it's really going to need to be CTY that dies for Holy Grail to stand any sort of chance in these fights, because it is still a relatively good Morphling game overall, and he's the one you need to jump. You know, Techies, CM, they don't really change the overall outcome of a team fight. Silencer and Phoenix, absolutely. They are great counter initiators, and if you could take them out of the equation at the start, that's going to be enormous. So I'm really interested to see how this is going to go down, like how each teams are going to be prioritizing what their target priority is going to be. Obviously, you can still afford to use something like the Storm Spirit Zip to be able to quickly kill off a CM. That really enables him in these fights prior to him picking up a BKB. But, you know, again, it's all about positioning. It's all about vision. You know me, I value information more than anything else.
I think we both do. That's something we always try and bring up in our casts, and you know, early gems, who's got the vision just naturally from their heroes, and how the wars are placed across the map as well. It does look like we're gonna have a bit of a brawl in both water rune locations. No kill threat between either side. Does look like though it's gonna be 4 bounties for Team Zero. Somehow Beyond was able to sneak on past and get the bounty inside Holy Grail's territory. So yeah, 4 bounties to start.
Can I change my tip? No, never mind. But Daytime Night Stalker, not exactly the strongest, especially level 1. You are incredibly ineffective as, well, I love when something goes right, like exactly what I was thinking. SJ already has the Glaives of Wisdom leveled up, already has that Blood Grenade to be ready for that level 2 timing for them to be able to go on to this Night Stalker. And even just have a look at, in terms of their regen, you've got 6 tangos on both the Silencer and the Techies. These days, you don't really do that as much anymore. You know, it's all about just getting the one set and trying to max out the stats, but they know that this is going to be a trade-heavy lane.
So we'll look at level 2 up top. What about the other side lane? Are there any levels that we need to be keeping in mind down bottom? It's 4 ranged heroes. We do not see that too often anymore in a lane.
No, we don't. I don't really think we're going to see too much action happening in this bottom side unless someone gets really heavily out of position. Like Bat Rider, you could see not putting the first point into the Flame Break because of how ineffective it is relative to what previously was. Hopefully ZZQ is able to get that magic stick delivered out to himself pretty soon, because Dolem actually has the sticky napalm leveled up level 1, so you really want to start getting value out of that. Of course, Morphling, one of the better heroes at being able to use it as well, just off the back of the attribute shift into the stick. I'm looking back up top, almost level 2.
How's the Crate Wave looking potentially for Holy Grail to go? Summer's got his 2 before SJ. Isaiah's just running straight towards the Silencer. There's just going to be a little bit of poke from them though. Try and bring the Techies low, but he's already got himself delivered off the core, so Ice will be able to repair the damage.
That's the impact of not having the level 2, right? It's only 10% movement slow, but Summer maybe looks to commit onto it. They cancel this out?
Yes, they did. So you lost a decent chunk of health back that Ice would have found.
There we go. Going for it again, but they don't have the Blood Grenade this time. So this is the important thing about like these little trades. You know, you see how impactful they are. And if you're going to be SJ and looking to spam out these Glaives of Wisdom, you need some mana regen, because you are really ineffective in this lane right now. And this is where Techies could start to take over.
Yeah, this is definitely feels like they've lost a bit of their power up top, right? Beyond's already 13 and 5. You've got no mana now on the Silencer, and his choreo was already outside the base as well. So it's going to take probably a minute for it to move back over. They've lost the creepy equilibrium too, so definitely feels like you've gotten out of maybe a stage where Beyond definitely could have been killed off. So that's huge for the Night Stalker, considering how weak you are through the first 5 minutes of the game.
I mean, I know they got all 4 bounty runes, but he is top of the net worth easily on this Night Stalker. You know, he's getting that that flag bearer creep uncontested. He's getting range creeps uncontested. He's already up to level 3.
Bottom
all
lane.
Ice needs. Oh,
As EZQ should be killed off for the dive under the tower from DQQ. So first blood's going to be picked up from Dome. He's gone for the 2-1 build. No points in the Firefly. Very interesting to see out of the Batrider.
if I'm CM, I'm waiting until I get that magic stick gold. Like, you are only 7 gold away. Just wait for it. It is so important for this lane. He would have lived, and maybe they can even make a turnaround onto the Batrider if he has that one available. He's got it. He's asking CTY probably if he wants anything delivered from the base. Probably not. So just gets to come back out here.
Looks like we are seeing some of the changes really hit 7E. He's got 8 denies, which is a little bit surprising, but very much behind in regard to the last hits. And he's not going to get the water rune as well. And DQQ's already nearby to also take the other water rune. So another thing going the way of Holy Grail.
Garn's a great Storm Spirit as well, right? So I think even with the previous iteration of Void Spirit, the lane might have even gone like this. But obviously it makes up for any sort of big plays that he might be looking to come out with.
We are getting close to that first nighttime there, 30 seconds away. Looks like Ice is fulfilling the role they need out of the techies, being that zoning support, so Summer's falling pretty low. And that means Beyond should be able to continue to have a good time. He's going double brace on the Night Stalker, so not going to be easy to kill off at all with all the stats.
It's a nice alternative to the Vanguard, I suppose. You know, I know Bloodseeker hits you a lot in lane, but I think they're just saying, you know what, this lane went far better for us than expected. So we don't even need to go this full sustained build, especially now. You know, nighttime hits, Beyond suddenly gets a massive burst of movement speed. He's already got the chainmail being ferried out to him as well, not wanting to be greedy and wait for the Blades of Attack for the full phase boots. He just wants to make sure that he's not able to be completely harassed out of this lane by the Bloodseeker.
You see instantly as soon as nighttime hits, they rotate mid as well.
Yep.
Both supports looking to try and get a pick off onto the mid lane. SJ will still stick around though. How close is Garn to level 6? Still a little bit too far away. So Bro 70 and Garn not going to have this in their arsenal. Might go for the dive though, gets in range for the Vortex. Level up and dissimulate. 70 is able to get some distance away. Now they want to jump in. A double stun from Ice connecting onto 2 will result in a kill onto the Silencer. Now Garn will just have to watch his support be killed off, and also DQQ can do nothing but stand on the wings. He might go for a dive to try and steal the power rune though. Garn still has a little bit of mana to work with. He's going to chuck all his spells out on Ice. It'll secure the kill. With Remnant off the mark, they're not going to have the damage for the Storm. Garn, he'll stand his ground. Lotus given over. Beautifully done. DQQ
and a bottle refill coming as well.
in huge.
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to wait 15 seconds on SJ here. He just wants to be able to get that free real food for Garn. You know, this is what I'm talking about. When this man plays the Storm Spirit, he turns up, and he's a big reason why Holy Grail are 3-0 right now.
And they're going to continue to enable him. There's that refill coming out. Meanwhile, I'm in the side lanes. You do leave solo, so your CTY, second in net worths, having a great time, and of course the Night Stalker on top as well. Let's see what Garn's going to be able to do with the great start they've given him.
Let's see if you stacks start to be built up. I wonder if, is anyone going to be invading to be able to get these Wisdom runes? No one's really going for it just yet, with the exception of Ice just getting his own, just because Night Stalker's in a really safe place. But looks like Holy Grail should be able to claim theirs as well. I mean, we know how important the level 6 is for both a Phoenix and a Silencer, so would have been disastrous if he ended up losing that one.
Even Radiant, so to say. I mean, Ice definitely for him. With the level 6, not as much for the Crystal Maiden. Maybe that gives you solo kill potential, but for the tech is really your damage just completely spikes once you get the level 6. So at least for him, he was able to find the Wisdom Rune as well.
It's actually part of the reason why I was kind of hoping that they went for this Leshrac pick in response to the Storm. Not only does it fare a lot better in the lane now, especially against the Void Spirit, but you know, you've got that magic damage amplification coming through from the proximity mines as well that they could have played with. Batrider though,
Lot of danger. Ice, his second movement of the game, down to bottom this time, and they'll be able to get the kill on the Dome, able to jump over. So continuing to free up the lane, but it does show supports elsewhere, so it means instantly Holy Grail.
You're going to be
Gonna
silenced.
try and once again secure one of the runes. 70 able to jump away. You nice thing about the Void Spirit, you can dodge that last word with the dissimulate.
Didn't know that. Okay.
But with this, they're gonna go top though. So the illusion rune for Gone. It does seem like Beyond's playing accordingly though. No one else is showing mid, so the Night Stalker gonna continue to play safe. They even scan just to make sure as well. Very nice read from Beyond.
It's all set up by the deep observer ward that Eyesight placed up as well, right? You know, this is the time where Void Spirit's been bullied out of the lane a little bit, that you might be able to go back, take some stacks. I'd even look to go in onto the Void Spirit a little bit. They've got heroes playing around this mid lane. Look to get some deep vision up of their own. Oh, GQQ is going to be walking into disaster though. Maybe not. Level 5 on the Phoenix and actually making an aggressive dive.
He's got Dolme to play with. Everyone's starting to move on over. 70 will get the jump. They want to try and prioritize the Phoenix, but the lasso response is there along with the damage on Gun. And now we've still got plenty of mana to catch up to ZZQ as well. It's already a dominating streak for the mid laner.
Yeah, Dolan ended up taking that bounty rune for himself, but you know what? That doesn't matter. He wanted to make sure he had the illusion rune available in case he was able to land one more frostbite onto him. Wasn't even able to do it. Gun just once again styling on this Storm Spirit. So you've reached up onto level 6 on Beyond, up on this top side, and it's only 30 seconds away from the daytime. So if I'm Holy Grail, I'm looking to potentially make a move to be able to play up there. You know, with the bounty rune, you might be able to do it. Oh, he's only like 200 gold short of the Kaya, so maybe Garn just wants to pick that one up, because you really want to try and maximize the amount of time that Night Stalker is forced to play during the daytime. You know, try and get an ineffective use out of that Dark Ascension out of him.
They're playing both sides. They're aware of what's going on. Even Summer's going to try and TP in to provide some assistance. With the Rupture on 7E, Void Spirit's going to have to stand his ground, but he's got some boys to protect him as Eyesight again. Another double stun with the blast off, but they're still in a little bit of danger. It's been a 1-for-1 at the moment, but Holy Grail, they're going to bring Dolman as well to try and provide some assistance. He'll be able to catch up to Eyesight. Might even turn to ZZQ as well. He does have the Night Stalk to act as a bodyguard. Dark Ascension soon to expire. Will be enough though to secure the kill. That's a big one for Mr. Night Stalker. Might get lassoed though, still back up here for Dolman with plenty of sticky nate bombs. That means his life will be forfeit thanks to the Batrider rotation, who gets a little bit of a streak as well to add to his name.
I mean, you really couldn't have asked for a much better use out of that first Dark Ascension, though, than what we just got, right? Maybe, I'm just thinking, like, where is Storm Spirit going to go? He actually TPs down towards the bottom side, and with that Observer Ward in the lane, it means CTY is going to be able to get away. I was thinking maybe he holds it, you know, just walks out to a lane somewhere and then sees where Night Stalker goes, because without that Dark Ascension, you are very vulnerable. But instead, Gun feels like it's important to be able to open this map up, playing down on the bottom side. And I mean, the big thing that we have to mention is that all 5 heroes on Holy Grail were part of that fight. Who wasn't? Morphling. And he was just completely farming away, trying to rush straight into that Lincoln Sphere, because he knows that he's the main target. We were talking about it during the draft, right? If they're going to make jumps happen on Holy Grail, it's onto CTY. So anything that he could do to protect himself from that is going to be huge.
I actually want to try and come down to help defend the tower. So both supports once again in Team 0. Dark Ascension though for 35 seconds.
You got Supernova this time on DQQ as well.
See if it's going to come into play. You might need to use it deep under the tower. They're going to be able to address the egg. Beyond will turn along with the supports, but they don't have the attack speed to bring it down. And as soon as the egg blows up, there's going to be no response. It's all Dies fight. Ooh. They will get the kill on the Storm, though. CTY actually looking to rotate down. He wants to put his stamp on this team fight. And we'll be able to get a return kill at the end. So a little bit of golden experience. And I mean, it's kind of big that Garn also goes down as well.
Yeah, it was...
Oh, in the river. Okay,
that's
enormous. A huge solo kill, man. 70 was really struggling this game. DD picked up, catches out Summer off guard.
I only just had a look at Summer's net worth. That is not what I was expecting to come out from this Bloodseeker, from the Night Stalker lane that you've had. And, I mean, we mentioned that the Morphling CTY previously, he had TP'd up to that top side to avoid the Storm Spirit gank. And then he was just able to wait long enough that he was able to rejoin the fight at the very end. I mean, once you pop Storm Spirit's mana, once you pop the Rupture, once you pop the Supernova, there's really not too much else that the Morphling is afraid of, right? The Lasso, of course, is going to be a factor, but unless you've got the follow-up damage coming through from the Storm, you're really not all that concerned. You see Gun, like, this is
Top
not
lane.
something... Oh.
They're going to make it go on the Bloodseeker again, so Summer continuing to be further down in the net worth. Another death for the Bloodseeker.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Beyond is playing so well this game. 3-2-2 kill score, but certainly not played like that for sure. Like, he has just come out of this laning stage, nearly 2,000 gold ahead of the Bloodseeker as a Night Stalker. Not what you come to expect, and honestly, part of that is the power of the techies. You know, I really feel like Team Zero won out on that resource trade game. We mentioned how important it was for them to get that level 2 timing, to get that first blood. It just didn't happen, and we see what happens as a result of it. Bloodseeker doesn't really have the free game that he was set up to have.
Gonna take a while for him to be able to catch up then. No Maelstrom just yet, has one component, but...
Radiant's bottom tower.
And they haven't been able to make any plays on this Night Stalker during the daytime. Like, he's gotten 2 perfect Dark Ascension usages off. He's level 9. He's got the Echo Saber. He's looking to build into... What would he go to? I mean, Manta or BKB feels totally fine to me. And he's got techies backing him up. So, like, he is just
Top tower has fallen.
primed for success.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
What does he go?
BKB's totally fine.
Yeah, there is a lot of value with Lotus this game. Maybe one of the supports can get. I don't think he'd get it now if he was going to. I'm just thinking overall, like, item build. Maybe you can go like Blink BKB into Lotus. Even, I mean, Nullifier needs to be consideration because of the supports having any defensive items. So
Radiant's bottom tower.
got some
Haven't
things he
exactly
needs to
had the
consider.
greatest game, though, you know, on the supports. So maybe that's something that he's considering. Like, hey, Silence is kind of been shit on this game, so he's
Yeah,
not
look
going
at his
to have
net worth,
anything.
man.
Yeah.
How is he 1,500 at this stage in Dota? Like, supports are able to get a little bit more gold. I wonder
He's
how
been
many
focusing on trading,
consumables-
right? Like, that's the
Yeah.
thing. You know, you need to buy a lot of these, like, mangoes, blood grenades to be able to try and get the kills, and they just didn't happen. And this is what happens, you know? Like, CM is a similar sort of hero, right? You're very sink or swim. And if you don't get kills off of, like, those first 3 mangoes, you could find yourself a long way behind. Obviously, the rest of the team is doing A-OK, so ZZQ, even though he's kind of down in the dumps about his own net worth, he'll be just fine with the overall state of this game. He talked
2,000
about-
net worth lead, and we are back to nighttime now, Denog. So this is going to look like a very scary next 5 minutes or so for Holy Grail.
Scanning.
You reckon Beyond's just going to go straight Nullifier? He could.
I think he
I mean,
needs
again,
a BKB.
it depends what the vision is like. And right now, ZZQ has set up a bunch of great vision. You know, I don't think they scouted out that smoke coming through.
Radiant's middle tower.
And so Beyond might be in a little bit of trouble here.
That he will be indeed. They're even going to drop the egg. Why not? Turn it to day. No escape for Beyond. He'll be burnt down. Even SJ wants to steal some wisdom as well. So, big kill. 2 ultimates used, though. That is the big thing. You also revealed the blink on the Batrider, but Night Stalker's going to be up in 25 seconds. It is go time for Team Zero to make a play. They're going to be trying to eye up this mid tower.
Absolutely. Like, he still hasn't bought anything. Morphling could afford the full Yasha now if he wants to. Yep. Techie's 75 gold away from a mech. So, a little surprised that 7E didn't give him just a couple of creeps to be able to enable that. But yeah, I guess without that Supernova available, without the lasso, they really don't feel like they can look to defend this mid-tier 1 tower.
They might actually spring a bait. They saw 70 pop the invis. But even ZZQ is going to lead on the front.
Under attack.
Gets a nice D-ward as well. So with that taken care of, Holy Grail not going to be able to defend the tower. They won't even try and think about it as well. So Beyond gets the reward. Blinker also completed here for the Night Stalker.
That mech's coming out now for Ice, going into a Solar Crest. I mean, give it to Morphling, give it to Night Stalker. You just enable him so much off the back of it. And he's about to hit level 12 as well on the Night Stalker. Just 1.5 levels away. And he's actually opted to go for the Blink Dagger. I mean, I like it, you know. Pop that Crippling Fear on top of the Phoenix, and you just completely take him out of these fights.
Would you like to see them force a fight and consider Roche? Like, you do have Egg coming back up in 20, but if you win a team fight, I think you're going to have the damage for Roche, right? Or are you happy with them kind of continuing to play it a little bit slow on Team Zero?
Do you think they have the damage? Without Bloodseeker having a solid game, I'm just not sure that they do.
No, for Radiant.
Oh, for Radiant, okay. During the nighttime, I guess you could afford to, yeah? You know, with the Morphling, with that early Yasha, maybe he just wants to have the Manta style, wants the level 15 just for the absolute security of things. I think
going to be a fight over this rune.
More passive game.
Oh, 70 got it, and now also gets to kill it. Eve? Whoa, all right. Why not use 2 ultimates? That is so much a Dark Ascension, Freezing Field, all for an Arcane rune.
Well, 70 got it, at least, and he's using it. They're going to use the remnants of the Dark Ascension as well to take out another Tier 1 tower. So really, Bloodseeker's space to be able to farm around this map is shrinking heavily. You know, I'm sure that his call, part of the reason why Silencer is so poor on net worth is that he's just had to spend so much on sentries. There's actually still 5 still in stock for him to potentially purchase up, but that's really all Bloodseeker wants. He's like, honestly, even if you need to buy a gem at this stage just to make sure that I'm able to safely farm, do it, please, because I am suffering right now. I need my BKB or I'm completely ineffective.
Maybe just some of the supports need to sit in front of him. Just continue to pop some smoke ganks, allow him to farm his own side of the map, because, I mean, look at Ice getting himself set up for the right side. We do have Wisdoms in about 2 minutes. I think Tormentors are very, very valuable this game, especially for Dire. Not as much Radiant, but if Dire can get the Ag shot on Phoenix, that can be... that's one of the best shards in the game, I think, for supports. Bomb goes off. They should have an idea that this smoke is going on. Instantly pings come out, and ZZQ is going to reposition further back towards the tower. They're going to still wrap through the jungle, though. It's gone on the front, leading the charge. No one's really home from Radiant, and now the bomb goes off.
Yeah, and they ping it out instantly. What can you do against this sort of thing? It's so frustrating.
Dire's top tower is under
Something that I've been doing a lot lately on my... They're going to pick off anyone? Doesn't seem like it. On my universal support heroes is going to specialists array. Like, DQQ's got it on his position for Phoenix. You're not exactly right-clicking a lot on heroes, but it really does enable you to farm so much more quickly.
Which is highest net worth out of the supports. Does help his 3, 1, and 10. It's going to be going down the Shiva's route as well. What do we make of the Shivas? What is the real big reasoning why he's putting so much commitment on going for that as his first item?
I mean, the egg is pretty vital to a lot of these team fights, right? So if he's able to get that one off, provide a little bit of slows, make sure that they're not able to reach the egg and then attack it fast enough. I mean, him even getting level 12, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if Holy Grail opt to go a little bit slower with the pace of this game, just so that they can get into that level 12, so they can get into that additional 700 gold for the Mystic Staff. And again, Bloodseeker still needs time to farm. If nothing happens for the next little bit, I genuinely believe that Holy Grail are going to be okay with it, but it can't be for too long though, right? Because we've already got a 7k net worth lead. Morphling's getting a little bit too far out of control in what is a pretty amazing Morphling game.
Yeah, what do we think the itemization is going to be next up here for the Morphling? Because he's already got that Manta and Lincolns.
I think he can afford to just go damage, right? Like, this protects you from getting jumped on. You know, if you're really quick with the Manta, you can be able to avoid, like, a Blink 4-staff lasso, for example, and be able to get away. But I think he just needs to be able to go in and actually do damage now. He's going BKB, which, again, it's typically a quote-unquote defensive item, but he's going to be using this one aggressively.
Also quite impressed just with the... I guess everyone's starting to catch up. We saw Summer was very far behind, but...
I mean, Techies has nearly caught up to it, though.
Damn, I did not see Ice's net worth. That's crazy. Yeah. It looks
more
like you got the Ag shot, I suppose.
Please.
Yeah,
more nerfs.
So, yep, there you got their Tormentor, whereas Dire still haven't found theirs. Smoke on smoke. Got the shield ring though to work with. Smoke's gonna pop. Instant beyond with the jump. That is a beautiful target. But he's actually gonna reset. They're happy with wasting the global silence. This is Dark Ascension, so there's plenty of time for them to work with. So the Night Stalker.
Complete full-on retreat. And then they're going to go the other way, wrap around. I like this. You know, you've always got Night Stalker to be on the front lines, providing all of that necessary vision. It's actually going to be Ice.
Oh, he goes in. Gone.
It was a bait.
Get blown up. Oh my lord, the damage! He wasn't ready for it, and now TZ, they can look for more, trying to catch up to SJ, but Silencer's able to duck on out. So you get the big kill onto Gun. He had such an incredible start to this game, but all of a sudden, 7E able to jump over him in regards to the net worth, and there's a engagement that goes their way. They do have to commit a little bit though. I mean, mainly the Dark Ascension. Dire, I guess they use Global as well, so it's not really like they're in a position to force something. Dom's gonna try though.
I don't know if this is the right
just on
target.
his easy Q, and they do not have the damage with the Glimmer Cape. Maybe Summer needs to get involved. Rupture's even going to be used as well to get the kill. Summer's looking for the cleanup. Both supports on Team Zero will go down, and there is no trade as CTY and 7E were not ready to fall up to protect their supports.
Okay, I guess you take those little things when you can, and of course still another minute and a half until it's nighttime, another 50 seconds until it is Dark Ascension time, so you'll be able to get a tier 1 tower at least for yourselves. It's the little victories. Man, Storm Spirit even popped the BKB previously and died in 2 seconds underneath all of that just pure damage coming through.
He's wants Kyron Tunge now, so maybe able to buff him up a little bit more. But see if they can get there though. Still this league continuing to grow, even though those 2 kills were just picked up on Holy Grail. So what do we need to see out of them next to continue to stem some of the momentum that's continuing to build on Team Zero?
For Holy Grail?
Yes.
I guess they really just want to be able to convert onto whatever jump kill that they get, right? Like, it's going to be hard. I think you're past the point now where you can actually get a kill onto the Morphling at the start of fights. I think you need to try and, like, outlast it. Because there's not, like, amazing morph targets this game. You know, like Storm, Bat, Silencer, Bloodseeker, Phoenix, none of them are amazing. It might honestly be the Phoenix just to have that Icarus dive at your disposal. But it doesn't really feel like that Aghanim Scepter game for me. So if you can find this... Are they going to die here? Yeah. Well... got to abandon that plan. They really wanted that Aghanim Shard for the Phoenix because he's level 12, right? It's time for them to go, and they've got the Beholder. This was what I was talking about, right? Like if someone could find the right target, let's say it's the Night Stalker, take him out of the team fights. That enables the supports.
It's too slow though, man. You got Roche now top. They're not going to be out. If they go Tormentor, then you can't contest Roche. If you go Roche, you can't get the potential Ag Shard on Phoenix. He knows how important it is. He has it queued up.
They know what's going on. Can't do anything about it, though. I mean, at least it gives you a little bit of time to, like, push out the lanes, farm your map, farm up the next big item. Storm Spirit's going for a Scythe of Vice, so even more around that quick pick-off. They see where he's positioned, though, underneath the ice proximity mines, and they're pinging it out as well. Might be part of this rotation back by 7E, although he does need to clear out the creep wave as well.
They have to get their Tormentor. This is crazy.
They need the Tormentor and they need Bloodseeker to buy the Aghanim Shard. And then I think they can feel okay with fighting.
That will take some time, and it means that Team Zero are going to freely be able to take some objectives. Tier 2 top's going to go down for free. Glyph will only stall them out momentarily. They might say screw it and go high ground, or they can just easily wrap on mid. They've got a great Observer Ward to the right-hand side.
Got to be mindful, though, is that Holy Grail's turnaround is pretty good, providing that the supports don't get jumped on. You know, that's the key thing. And playing high ground, that's the position that you want to honestly be in. You know, not often you want to say you want to be defending in your base, but I mean, you've got a Bat Rider who's got, I believe, Aghanim Scepter just finished up as well. So you can find that double jump at the start of these fights. Really feels to me like Night Stalker needs to be the one that gets targeted. Going into the Ice Shard for himself next.
Yeah, would you like that to be Lotus? We brought it up earlier, but now especially with the Bat Rider going Scepter, is there more value? Is actually gone. Beyond's nearby. No one else is really there to protect the Night Stalker. Looks like he's just trying to do his best to delay Holy Grail to get ZZQ out and BKB off. They could go now again. We spoke about this deep Observer next to the Tier 2 tower mid.
Look at
Ice to try and shove this lane and smoke.
He's saying top lane's already pushed in, shove in bottom, shove in mid, then let's instantly go for a smoke. And that's what they do. 4-man coming through. You could get CTY joining in pretty quickly as well. Might just show in the lane to make it not so obvious.
He knows. Look at his positioning. Yeah, beautifully done. Great read.
Guy.
Just sack his life and they'll do that. Great read here from SJ, but you got to make sure no one else gets caught.
You still might lose a tier 2 tower bot as well. And they're going to be in a position to be able to yoink away that Wisdom Rune too. Coming up in just 15 seconds, they see that the Torment is
Phoenix might
taken.
get caught.
Oh, that can't happen.
Does he double jump now? You could force the egg. Beyond's wanting to go for it. He might even just get the kill instead. Dome. It's a potential defensive lasso. They'll get the egg. BKB was expended though. So
CTY's just taking your base.
Both heroes. Damn, this tier 3 tower down to half. They're going to have to glyph it up.
And yoink on that Wisdom Rune. Thank you very much, says Ice Ice. Trying to think of the time where they're actually going to be able to like truly feel like they're back in this game. Because they hit their timings at a reasonable state on Holy Grail, but they just didn't do anything with it because of that failed Tormentor take, because of, they smoked underneath that ward that had 5 seconds left on it. So ZZQ, I'm sure he's just going to be standing like near the top of this stairs, or maybe he's just going to back off altogether, knowing that, you know what, we just want to wait out this Dark Ascension time as much as we can.
They will see CTY, but of course he's your Aegis carrier. Meanwhile, Ice Ice is shoving out bottom as well, so...
Someone's going to need to come back. He's even got 3 proximity mines still to be able to make plays with. I need to wait for a little bit of information.
They re-smoked. Okay. Seems like it's now or never for Holy Grail.
Sam's not the target,
Making to get the jump.
That's the target.
All right, double lasso with the Sunray. Look at the damage. Global Silence to cover the kill, but now it's CTY's fight to turn it back around. They won't have supports to work with. Summer's going to try and move on in, but CTY just has way too much farm. Bloodseeker cannot stand toe-to-toe versus the Morphling, and they'll still get 2 kills, but we see, I mean, that could just be the tale of these further fights where the Morphling can just freely right-click anyone.
They did basically everything right, though, didn't they? You know, they caught the Night Stalker. They're able to take him out at the start of the fight. He doesn't have the Dark Ascension as any sort of response to it. But the thing is, you used your Rupture, you used your Global Silence, you used your Lasso. By the time they're coming up again, they'll have the Lasso available, you'll have the Supernova, you'll have the Rupture, but you won't have the Global Silence. So maybe that's just going to enable them to continue to press on forward behind CTY, who's still got 20 seconds left of this Aegis. That's why he's playing so ballsy. What can you do?
Cool. Lasso up in a couple.
Yeah.
Oh, Dom's gonna go, but Storm's out of mana now. They're going for 70 at least with the bash on Summer. They're gonna be able to hold him down to place thanks to the Rupture. He will bleed out.
Dies to the Rupture.
Well, Dark Ascension's used.
Oh.
They're gonna jump in. Summer is gonna get blown up. Oh my lord, and they're not done. They'll go for the Phoenix next as well. No opportunity for the egg. Guns can pop the BKB. He'll get out of danger. But with that one used defensively, what is going to stop Team Zero?
Nothing. Nothing. They have no Lasso. They have no BKB on the Storm Spirit. They have no Global Silence for 30 seconds. No Phoenix for 30 seconds. And yeah, right now, Beyond is just playing point right now. He's just giving all of the vision that they could possibly need. They're going to back off, still respecting that daytime lack of strength that the Night Stalker has to be able to play around, but CTY, even without that Aegis, feels immortal.
I think he is, man. Look how fun. He's even got the Vindicator's axe. 3,100 gold in the bank, so whatever item he wants, he'll have shortly. Stellar performance out of him. KDA, not too high, but we've really felt the impact of the Morphling in a lot of these team fights.
I think he kind of wants to be silenced as well, just because he's got the Vindicator's axe, you know, extra 30 damage, I'll take it.
I know. We're really just yet to see.
That's it. Like, I think that's your last chance to be able to come back into this one. Like, they got on refreshers on both Phoenix and the Batrider. This is how important that initiation is.
Nice scan. Cube.
DD is nice. Level 18 on the Storm would be nice. Level 20 on Summer would be great for the extra Rupture cast range. He's got the Basher as well, so maybe you get a little bit lucky and you know, lock in the the Morphling when he's full Agimorphed in a bad position. He doesn't have the Aghanim Shard for himself yet, so, you know, the stuns, if you are able to get them off while he's Agimorphed, can kill him. He just really hasn't put himself into a position to make sure that happens yet. He's nearly got a Satanic picked up as well, I believe.
Yeah, and we haven't seen they've been in a position to use all their team, their ultimates together. Like you've just been using them in other engagements before a big team fight, and then you potentially have one down. And that's super important. If you don't have all of them together, then you're not going to have that full strength we were speaking about. We haven't seen the lasso into global, or the drag back in the egg as well. Just that team fight that we thought was going to be a threat, we haven't seen, because just the little skirmishes that Team Zero forced out means that your Holy Grail have to expend an ultimate, and then they just back off. Like the read from Team Zero is incredible. They force a spell, reset, and then go again when it's on cooldown.
Exactly. If I'm if I'm Holy Grail's coach, I'm just pointing out ZZQ's ward position. He is going to get jumped on now. Not potentially being protected enough, although Ogre Seal? No. Yeah, this ward, he has had that one up that they just dewarded for about 80% of this game, just constantly replacing it there. And the only reason that they're able to get it is because they've got a gem. You know, that has never been sentry warded this entire time. So maybe a little bit more emphasis off the back of sentry wards to be able to cover that sort of area in game number 2 and beyond.
You can deal with wards, but can't deal with Mr. Beyond, who I don't know. I have to imagine he got the... Did he buy the shard?
He did.
I'm trying to take a look now. He did? Okay, very interesting. So he bought the shard and 3,500 gold. So let's see what his item's going to be. You have both supports going Lotus. Ice is very close to it. So that, I think, will definitely free up his itemization to potentially go, like we said, the Nullifier, if he feels it required. Definitely some other options could be there for him as well.
Really does
for
feel
free,
like...
looks like.
Yeah, they'll get it for free. They're just waiting for this Daedalus on the Void Spirit. They're waiting for level 20 on the Void Spirit. There's nothing really... Okay, that's wrong. I was about to say there's nothing really that's going to be bad if they wait for too long. You know, if you do end up getting this double Phoenix egg off, if you do end up getting a double lasso drag back into the fountain, yeah, of course things can go poorly for you. But I still feel like they're going to have enough time to be able to pick up that next key item, whatever it might be. You know, that Lotus is going to be huge for them. Nightstalker having another effective 4,000 net worth rather than just holding on to the gold is going to be huge for them. Having level 18 even on the Nightstalker would be huge, but he's just so close and yet so far from it. I think they just got to try and play the game of like putting up their vision and cutting off the areas of the map that Holy Grail can play around. It's not high ground time quite yet.
It will be soon, though. Definitely getting ready for Team Zero to walk on up. Speaking about levels, I think a big one was the talent that just 7E got thanks to the Wisdom Room getting stolen. So you now have that out of the Simulate ring.
On Beyond.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, just as he's about to go into a Ghost Scepter on the poor Silencer. SJ has not had any farm this entire game. And, well, your first big item purchase, I mean, 4-star's already going to be made useless by it, but it's just going to get doubled up too.
What is Khan doing here? Oh, buys the Hex. And he's going to TP out. So there is also a Arcane Rune now for Radiant to play with, but they've got all the waves in a great position.
Yeah.
Bottom, mid and top, ready to go now for the boys on Team Zero.
It's still Operation Blow Up Nightstalker. That's how this game needs to go. And, I mean, they've got the Habit Talbot as well on Summer, so maybe he's going to feel more confident.
He's going to try and get jump, but...
He's got the lasso as well, but he wasn't holding on to the gem.
I'll be on. They gave the Arcane action to the Nightstalker, so... lower cooldown out of the Dark Ascension. They're going to see them smoke.
Yeah.
Gets popped. They should know they're in the trees. Beyond gets the opening. Silence onto 2 with a Nullify as well. Global Silence is going to be enough to protect them. It's a pretty decent egg.
It's a lot of damage.
The other side of the fight. They won't be able to address it at the moment. CTY turns to make the attempt, but with the bastions out, the chain control. CTY can he get the strength wolf out of the nick in time? But Team Zero, they're there to protect him. Ice jumps on over. They'll keep CTY alive, and now there's going to be no escape. As the meat grinder, it'll favor Team Zero. They'll deal with the Aegis, but it will not matter. There's no buyback out as Summer or Dome as well.
I don't think there's any sort of defense that can be mounted off the back of this. I mean, he's already morphing into the strength, realizing that he's got plenty of damage off the back of all of his items, and he just blows them up. Summer instantly calling the GG. I'm out of here, boys.
She's his support get blown up. 4-0 is like, yeah, no, there's not much hope left for us. Team Zero, what a performance. Gonna be able to take it 30.